I'm going to use the same technique that I will use to factorize this, just to make a point. So first of all, the coefficient of x squared is 1, and 1 times minus 10 is minus 10. So I think of two numbers which will multiply together to make minus 10. Well, first of all, what will two numbers times together to make 10 is 1 and 10, and 2 and 5. There's no other numbers after that. Now, remember that when I sum these numbers, I want a summation of minus 3. So if I want the summation to be minus 3, that means the biggest number has to be a negative. Okay? And this one will be, smaller number will be positive. So the product of this, 1 times minus 10 will be minus 10, but the summation of this is going to be minus 9. Okay? Because 1 plus minus 10 is minus 9. So this one's not going to work. These two numbers, 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. And if I add these two together, 2 add minus 5 is going to give me minus 3. So this one's going to work. So what I could do now is I could replace this middle term. So I've got x squared. I'm replacing the middle term. Doesn't matter which order I put it in. I'm going to put plus 2x minus 5x. And then put that at the end, minus 10. Now, once I've done that, note that this expression and this expression is the same, exactly the same. The only difference is I broke that down, minus 3, into those numbers which I worked out here earlier. Now, why does that help? This will help because hopefully if I factorize the first two and the last two expressions, what I should get is a common factor here. And if I don't get a common factor, I've done something wrong. So just bear that in mind, okay? So if I factorize this one, I get x out. X is common in highest common factor there, and in the bracket I got x plus 2. Now, if I factorize this, I'm going to take minus 5 out, and that's the highest common factor, so I've got x plus 2. Note what I was saying before, this has a common factor of x plus 2. So if I put x plus 2 out, x plus 2 is multiplied by x, and x plus 2 is being multiplied by minus 5. And that is it. This is factorized. I know it's not, there's an easier way of doing this, but if we are consistent in our approach in doing it this way, we can do this in the same manner and make no errors. Okay, so the same thing here. The reason why I did that, to show you, it will work for both of them. First thing first, you multiply 3 by the 10. 3 multiplied by 10 is going to give me 30. Now, they are both positive, so I need a positive 30. So first of all, let's break 30 down. 1 times 30. After 1 comes 2. 2 times 15. After 2 comes 3. 3 times 10. After 3 comes 4, but 4 does not divide exactly into 30, so we don't do 4. Then I go to 5. How many 5s going to 30 is 6, so 5 times 6. And that is it. I've got all my factors here that will times together to give me 30. The second thing is to remember this number here. Now I want these two to add up to a negative 17. Now first of all, this minus 17 tells me that both of these have to be negative, because when you times two negatives together, that also gives me a positive. So I'm going to make both of these negative first of all. And then I'm going to add them up on the side to see which one will give me minus 17. Well, this one gives me minus 31, so it's not that. This one gives me minus 17, so I know it's that. There will only be one combination where it will work. This one will give me minus 13, and this one will give me minus 11. So that is the only combination that's going to work. Once I've got those two, what I'll do is, it doesn't matter which order, what I'll do is I'll put a line there so we don't get mixed up. So I'm going to put those and replace minus 17 with minus 2, minus 15. So I'm going to do that now. So the first term and the last term stay the same. So that's 3x squared. This one gets replaced with minus 2x minus 15x. And this one stays the same, plus 10. Now This expression is exactly the same as that. The only difference is we broke down the minus 17 into minus 2 minus 15. The reason why I've done that, hopefully, is because I know that if I factorize the first two expressions and the last two expressions, I should come out with a common factor, which will help me factorize the whole expression. So the first two here, the highest common factor is x. So I take the x out. X times 3x, and that's going to be minus 2. So I'm now looking at here and I'm thinking the highest common factor here is going to be a 5. And because that's a minus 5 and I want this to be positive, just to learn that trick, I take the minus 5. I take a minus 5 out, okay? Because that will make that positive the way I want it to be. So I take the minus 5 out. Minus 5 into minus 15 is 3, so that's 3x. Minus 5 divided by 10 is going to give me minus 2. I did that because now these two factors are exactly the same, what I wanted. So now I'll take 3x minus 2 out, which is the common factor, and this common factor is being multiplied by x, and it's also being multiplied by 5. So that is this expression fully factorized.